Hi and welcome to Python tutorial of hospital management system. So let me show you guys how this works. Now we have some data in there and we can always click on patient's prescription, and this patient's prescription can be added to the hospital database right here. So all we need to do is to click on prescription data right there, and that is that. So we can also click on reset or delete the whole content and exit. So what I'm going to do now is to take you guys straight into Python development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi and welcome to tutorial of hospital management system in Python. I'm going to start by declaring the following library. There we go. So the next thing I would like to do is to actually declare my class hospital there, and let's declare a function and get it initialized. And the function, I'm going to say self, that's root, and enter semicolon. And the next thing I want to do is to define my app, how it's going to look like. So it's going to be self.root equals root, and followed by, let's give it a name. So it's going to be self dot title equals, no, open a bracket, let's call it hospital management system. Right, that's the name of our app. And set the geometry as, let's say I'm gonna go for 1350 multiplied by 750 plus 0 for the coordinate there. And the next thing is I'm gonna set the back color. So let's say self.root.configure and the background equals, let's say the background, I'm going to go for powdered blue there. Okay, close that. So the next thing I like to do now, I'm going to have to declare the following variables. Okay, I will start the variables by calling the first one, that would be for my combo box. So I'm going to call it combo name, that would be for tablets. So that is the variable for that, equals string there. So the next one is going to be reference, and say string as well, and followed by the dosage. And we'll just speed that up there. So let's get it indented. Those are all the variables I intend to use. Let's de-indent it and get this one indented. Right, I'm going to move it up so that you can see it properly. Those are all my variables. Now the next thing I want to do is I will then define a frame, and that is going to be known as main frame. This very main frame is going to be resident inside the self.root. Close that, and let's say mainFrame.break. There we go. And the next thing is going to be my title frame. The title frame is going to be right inside the main frame. Okay, so here we have the title frame. So let's call that title frame equals frame, and is going to be right inside the main frame, this very one. There we go. And let's say for now that is going to be 20. The border is 20, and the width equals 1350. Let's say the pattern, let's make that 20 for now. We can always change it, and I would like it, I want it set to rigid. There's an I missing here. There we go. Alright, so that is going to be at the top. Let's make that top, copy that, paste it in here. Dot park and it's going to be side equals top. Right, that is that taken care of. Okay, the other easy thing that I can take care of now would be just my title. So let's say set.lbl title. That will be a label, and this very label is going to be right inside this very frame. Paste it right in there, and we just enter a comma. Font equals area. You can use any other font you want, and let me say that is going to be maybe 40, and let's set it to bold. I can always change as we go ahead. Then comma, the text on it is going to be, let's go for, can copy that, copy this and paste it right in there. That's the text on it. And let's get it padded. Let's say pad it to the x-axis by 2. Right, and that's going to be actually inside the top alone. So we can say this is right here, and that is just going to be dot grid there. Now that is created, the next thing I want to create that will be inside the main frame is going to be my other frame. So I can just call that frame details. Okay, frame details equals frame. Right, and it's going to be inside the main frame. Let's copy that and just paste that there. That is the frame details. The width is the same, height, let's enter height for it now. We can always change that. Equals, let's go for about 500. Right, okay, let's get it, let's say it's actually at the bottom. Paste dot park, that would be right at the bottom. This is side equals bottom. Right, that's the second frame created. Okay, let's round it up so that we can try it out. Let's say if name equals main column there and there. So I'm going to save it now. So I'm going to save it as hospital. Let's come into file, save as, then we'll just run it and see how this is going to look like. Go to file and open up the directory and save it right in there. Okay guys, let's try out this program, but before then, look, there's an error here. Wrong spelling. Alright, that's the right names. Okay, let's run it and see how it's going to look like. Okay, that is how it's looking now. We may have to extend the length of this or the height of this. So let's come back in here. Just add a little bit more to the height of that. Maybe 50 or make it 600. If it's not good enough, then I will readjust it. Okay, that might be too much, but that can be taken care of. Alright, one more time. Let's see. Okay, that is not too bad. Yeah, that's okay. Alright, let's move on. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create some more frames that will be right inside this very one. So I'm just going to copy that, paste it here. So this is going to be frame number 1. Okay, this will be beam frame 1. So my design is now going to change. Let's say this is 400, and the next one, I'm going to make the next one, let's say the next one is about 50 or 100, and another frame there, that is going to be another 100. Okay, I can always adjust it all. Now that the frame is set, okay, this one can, for now we can change this to 50. It's bottom. Okay, this is going to be, this one will be for buttons. Frame, button frames. Let's change this to button frames. Button frames. Right. So I will know who I'm dealing with. No, that should be frames. Button frames. And this one is going to be display frame or data frame, that's fine. Right. Okay, I'm going to run it and see how it's going to look like. Then I will use that to decide. Okay, I don't want it this way. I want this frame to be right at the top. Let's come in here and I'm going to change this one to 400, and this one will just be 100, and let's run it and see. Okay, that's much better. That's how I want it. That's fine. Okay, now that is ready, so what is left for me to do now is, you see this very data frame, I am now going to split this into 2. Okay, so let's split this into 2. Yeah, copy that, paste and paste, and this is going to be right. This will be left. Okay, for both, that is fine, and they are both resident right in here. Change and change. Now with this, let's make this approximately Let's go for 900, and this will be 450. Okay, we have to change this, but for now let's run it and see how it's going to look like. Then we'll change the names. Okay, this is now what I want, so I'm going to close it. Let's come back in here. Now, first thing first, I'm going to change this one. Let me just make that for now 10 and 10 here, and let's change the name of this. Left and left, and this one will be right. Data frame right, and there. Now I'm going to change this to 800. Okay, have a good look at it, and let's run it and see how it's going to look like now. Okay, that looks a little bit much better. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is let's enter some data right in here. Right, the first data is going to be list. Let's come right here. So that is for the left, and that's going to be for my. Okay, let's go for a label there. Might as well copy the label up here, copy and paste it right here. There we go. So this label is going to be known as LBL. Let's say name tablets. That will be the name. So let's come here, and I'm going to, let's say row equals 0, comma column equals 0 as well. Then I'm going to change this for now. Let's just change it to maybe 12. We can always carry out amendment, and right in here let's change the name of that. Let's change it to name of tablet. Right. Okay, I will now enter another widget. This time around that's going to be a combo box, because I want some data inside the combo box. So let's say, oh, first thing before I forget, this is going to be inside the left. Change this. Okay, now for the combo box, self dot cbo name tablet. Okay, equals ttk dot combo box. Yeah, and it's going to be inside this. Copy that so that I wouldn't make any mistake, and then comma this very combo box. What do we want in there? We want it to be able to address the following variable, let's say, and let's see the variable that I declare for combo. That's the variable declared for combo, CMB tablet. So I'm going to copy that. That's the variable we want to be able to make reference to. Paste that in there. So that is set, and let's say comma, and the state of it equals read only. We'll enter some data in there, and no one will be able to carry out any amendment. So comma, and what about the fonts? I'm going to copy this font, paste it there. We can always change it, and for now let's set to for let's say the width is not going to be, it might not be what we want, but for now let's just say 20. And then the other information for this combo that we require will be as follows. So let's enter, paste. So combo, let's enter an array in there. The value is very important. So what do we have in there? What do we have in there? So I'm going to have to make that up. We need some data in there. The first part of it will be empty, and the second part of it, what do I want? I need some medications in there. And here, let me enter my medications. So put a comma in there, and the next one is called Cocodamo. I guess the spelling is right. Then followed by paracetamol. And amlodipine. Those would be the data on the drop down menu. Okay, the next thing I want to do now, let's say self dot, grab this name, paste that in there, and that will be dot current value, that will be 0. Okay, and then now let's assign role, and is going to be in role 0, and the column is going to be column 1. So copy this, there we go, column 1 there. So let's save this and run it, then we'll see how it looks like. There we go, look at it. Okay, so that's how that looks. Now let's take care of something else. In here, before I run this, I notice that happens to be okay. Maybe we should do something about that. So that is the label. So let me show it to you guys again. You see what I'm talking about. Look at the label, kind of like moved in a little bit. Let's make it strictly west. Where is the label? Right here, comma, and that is going to be strictly equals west. Right, let's run it and see. There we go. Alright, close that. Then the others is, I'm going to just copy that very label. The next one is going to be column, no, this is going to be row, and this is column 2, and on column 2, what do we have in there? I'm going to call that maybe folder information, and that is column 2. Then this is going to be folder information. Copy that and change the name. Just get rid of some here. This is folder information as well. Now in the case of this, we now want a text box, or as it's called, entry, and this is going to be .txt that, okay, equals entry is called, and this entry, we have the following. It's going to be right in here as well. We can always modify as we go ahead. As we go along, we can modify. Let me copy this. I'm going to need this. Let's copy some of this and just change it around anyway. paste that, and here that's fine. Get rid of this, we don't need this there. And this is going to be column 3. Okay, and the variable for this, that is 3. The variable for this, let's copy this variable here, paste that in there. That is going to be further information. Let's see if there's anything for further information. Yeah, that's a variable for further information. Copy that and come right in here, paste that there. Okay, so let's run it and see how it's going to look like. Then we can then speed it up. We have an error. Let's check out what the error might be. Okay, this might be the problem, so let's get rid of that. Get rid of this, and look at this as well. That was supposed to be txt, and there. So let's run it and we take it from there. Okay, further information and that. So that is fine. So what I'm now going to do is I can just copy these two, copy, paste, and start changing things around. So the next one is going to be reference number, ref. So all of these will be reference number, and the next one here. So if this is on 0, this will be 1, 1 and 1, and this one will be column 0, and this is column 1, and the next one is going to be the storage. Paste. That will be 1, this is 2, and this is 3, and this is, instead of this, let's change this to, this ought to be reference number here, and this is going to be known as storage. Storage advice, right, and this will be called storage. Storage, and here too, and here, and oh, the variable, let's come here, we need to get the variable. The variable for storage is right there, storage advice, and the other one is just called further information. Okay, storage here, right, and this one is reference. Reference is reference. Come right down, change that around to reference. Okay, so I'm going to run this then so that we see how it looks like. Yeah, that's the second one. You guys see how it looks like. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do now is I will speed up the whole process and I'll get back to you guys. This will be the end of the first part of this tutorial. See you guys at the second part of this tutorial.